What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Guys, today I wanted to give you guys my 2 cents as it relates to the Tongo Tongo incident. Guys, if you're not familiar with that particular incident, there is a documentary out called 3212 Redacted, in which it breaks down exactly what took place. That documentary, guys, exposed a shit ton of cover-ups that were taking place around the actual mission that led to the 4 individuals being killed from that operation. All right, I'm hoping in speaking with you guys about that operation today that it helps not only guys at the ODA level, right, whether it's the team dudes, the captain, the team sergeant, but also guys at the AOB level and also the battalion level and eventually the group level, guys. So what exactly happened? Now, mind you guys, I wasn't there, right? When this incident took place, I was in the 18 Charlie Committee serving as a operations sergeant. I heard what was going on through buddies that were currently at 3rd Group, and all I could do was just sit back and just listen to the horrific shit that was taking place. So my account of what actually took place is through word of mouth and also what I've read through unclassed materials. So what exactly happened, guys? So from my perspective, this is what I've heard, right? So the ODA was out conducting a routine operation when they were tasked to go conduct something that they were not approved for. So how does that typically work, right? So typically when we're downrange, we'll go on patrol with our partner force, which in this case, the ODA did, right? To be able to go out and conduct that, all you need is a 5W. A 5W just lists the pertinence of the actual patrol, right? Who, what, where, when, and why. That's all you need. And typically the captain will staff that 5W and they'll go all the way up to the AOB. The AOB being where the major, the company commander, and the sergeant major reside along with a warrant officer. They will read through that 5W and they will approve it. So since that's what the ODA was approved to do, they then do their mission planning, they then do their brief, they then do their inspections, they do whatever they need to do. They get in their trucks and they head out and they conduct that 5W for the day. So the team went out to conduct that, guys, and while they were out conducting that particular mission, they got retasked. So what can cause somebody to get retasked? So up-to-date intelligence can cause a team to get retasked, guys. Or what can also take place is the intel will flow in and they'll task somebody else that's within the area that is capable or that is trained to do that particular mission. So in this particular case, intel started coming in and the ODA got remissioned. Now keep in mind, the cover-up behind this entire operation states that ODA 3212 went rogue and they acted on their own and they went and pursued the HVT, and that's how they were able to get lured into an ambush. Now, like I mentioned earlier, 5Ws go all the way up to the AOB. For a con-op such as this one to go and hunt an HVT, guys, that would go a lot further up the chain of command past group itself to get the proper approval. So to state that in the cover-up was just a big slap to these guys' face after they got ambushed. So once the ODA got retasked and remission, guys, the team sergeant and the team leader did what they were supposed to do, which is pushback. As a team leader, as a team sergeant, it is your job to protect your force. It is your job to protect your dudes by all means necessary. And if you don't think that you're equipped to conduct that mission, then you push back. That's your job. That's what you're here to do. I'm hoping all the future team leaders and all the future team sergeants are seeing this. It's your job, all right? If you end up losing your job because you're pushing back against command for something that can possibly get your guys annihilated, then that's what you do. Because your job is to conduct mission analysis, see if it's feasible to conduct that operation, and if it's not, tell them why, and if they still want you to do it, request additional assets so you can do it properly and bring your guys home. And they did just that, guys, but they were overruled. And once that took place, guys, they went and they conducted the operation. Now, in conducting the operation, they didn't have a chance to do a couple of things. They didn't have a chance to properly analyze the intelligence that was being forwarded to whoever had it that repurposed them. They didn't have a chance to do that. So they didn't know exactly what they were up against. On top of that, they didn't have a chance to do proper route reconnaissance. They didn't have a chance to do proper terrain analysis. which is all vital in a team's ability to actually go in and conduct an operation. So ODA 3212 didn't get a chance to do any of that, guys. They just got orders. They were told to go do it. They pushed back. They were denied, and they went and they executed. Now, once they got to the village, guys, they conducted a couple of KLEs, and the villagers there used classic Taliban tactics, which is holding a KLE and delaying the ODA as long as they can to allow the enemy to get set up, right? So while they were there, they got held on, and then by the time it was time for them to leave, the enemy was already settled, and they were waiting for them to drive through that choke point. So they left the village, they were heading back to Firebase, and then they got ambushed. Guys, the ambush was so well planned that these guys never had a chance. I have had a chance to watch the clip on YouTube until this day, man. It makes me sick, right? So they drove through it, and when you're in an ambush, guys, you have two choices. Choice number one, guys, you can push through the kill zone, or choice number two, you could turn and burn, right? Based on where the enemy is, will dictate what you do, right? If they're close distance, all right, all you got to do at that point is just turn and burn, meaning you turn towards them and you fight towards them. If distance allows you, then you could drive out of the kill zone, regroup, reorganize, and then re-attack the enemy. These guys didn't have a choice. They had to drive through the kill zone, right? They had to leave it. And in doing so, they got separated. In the kill zone, they did what they were supposed to do as brothers in arms. They fought together, and they eventually died together, right? Rest in peace to those dudes. Now, the other group that was separated, they eventually went black on ammo, and they went and they found a spot to lay low while the enemy was right on top of them. Now, I don't know all the pertinent details, right? I don't know anybody that was at that specific operation, and even if I did, I probably wouldn't reach out to them, right? Because if they wanted to talk about it, they would be on social media, they would be wherever, and they would divulge all the information on what actually took place, right? But I think it was very interesting that while this was going on, guys, I have freaking first world accounts that there were ODAs downrange chopping at the bits to go help. There were dudes, other Green Berets, and other freaking special operation forces sitting at the AOB asking for permission to fucking go out and help these dudes, and they didn't get the permission to fucking do so, right? So the fringe had to go rescue our guys, which I think is another slap in the face, right? You have Green Berets in country, you have other American forces in country that were ready to go, but they never got the go ahead to go do so, and another nation had to come rescue our dudes from the enemy. So that within itself is a sign of just the overall shitty leadership that's currently taking place in our military. And that makes me sick to my stomach. That's what took place, guys. At no point in time could the ODA had pulled this off by themselves. They were ordered to do so without the proper equipment, without the proper aid, and then once they got into it, they were left out to dry without the proper support. That right there, guys, is all on the brass, and I hope they freaking owned it, right? Because if you're a captain, major, lieutenant colonel, general, whoever you're out there watching this, just know that those are the type of leaders that are currently in our ranks, right? And if you have the ability to influence somebody by letting them know, hey, Tongo Tongo was fucked up how we handle it as an officer, then you need to do that, right? Practice personal accountability. So that's the main reason why I'm doing this, guys, because at no point in time should something like that have ever developed. Why? Because somebody wanted a HVT on their belt so they can get, you know, the next rank, or so they can look good in front of their peers. That's total horseshit, right? All right, guys, so what exactly could have been done better with this operation? Because again, I'm a big fan of, hey, regardless of how fucked up the situation is, there's always something that can be learned from it. And I'm hoping that the young guys watching this video from the ODAs, from whoever, can learn something from this, guys. So number one, guys, whenever we went out, back when I was on the team, we went out like there was no tomorrow. We went out like we were going to get in the fight of our lives, and that was going to be it. So my advice to the ODAs out there, right, and one thing that I think these guys could have done better, dude, when you roll out, pack the freaking arms room. Take everything with you. Call G's, mortar system, sniper, machine gun. Like, take it all, because you never know when you're going to get ticked up and you're going to have to use all those equipment, right? I'd rather have it than not have to use it, than need it and not have it at all. So for all the ODAs out there, for all the guys out there watching this, guys, like, I don't care where we were. We were in Tajikistan, you know, conducting freaking JSET with our Tajik partners. And my bravos had those trucks loaded up, right? We had 240s, 249, all sorts of stuff in the back. just in case we got ticked up, we're able to defend ourselves, right? So I don't care if you're in Africa, I don't care if you're in, Tajikistan or Lebanon or wherever. Just make sure you always have the proper tools to do work if it comes down to it. Another thing, guys, if you're in a leadership position, team sergeant, captain, whatever, and you come across a situation like this where you don't think your guys are gonna be able to successfully operate, dude, let them fire me, man. Tell them, hey, check it out. I'm not doing this. If you want to take my tab, if you want to fire me, hey, fire me. Now, I'm not sure what took place there because, again, I wasn't there, right? And I know we're in the military and we're supposed to follow orders to the T unless it's unethical and immoral. I get it. That's what we're supposed to do. But there comes a point where you can recognize a suicide mission and you can just be like, hey, check it out, man. I'm not doing this. Again, I wasn't there, so I don't know what the situation was. I don't know what the intel painted the picture as. So that's for those dudes to decipher. But that is just my stance on this, guys. If you know you're going into a situation that you don't need to be in and you don't think your guys are going to survive, do the proper analysis and tell the freaking brass to go kick rocks. All right. With that said, guys, that's what I wanted to share as it relates to this operation. Eager to hear what you guys think. Like I said, I don't have the redacted version. I don't have the freaking all the red and high side information that really, lay out how this thing developed. This is just what I've got from open source and also from word of mouth through buddies, all right? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, guys. I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.